Welcome back to Divekick Infinite. It's Tuesday night again. I am your host, Thanos PKC. Today we'll be exploring a character who's who has random stances, so he's a bit of a wild character. His name is Kenny, and let me go ahead and bring that up right now. All right. So I think opposite here, I'm gonna pick Stream as a comparator. Just when I go over certain things, it's gonna be kind of hard to go over Kenny since he has so many different stances. And so a little bit of a backstory here with Kenny. Kenny was added to the game after I think the Kickstarter came up, but basically they someone donated or funded added funding to have this character put in, and this character is a tribute to a past living brother who loved to play random games, and so that's why Kenny's wearing the halo there because he's come back and as a tribute to him, his stances are random, which means that every round he plays a different character's normals. And this is a callback to Concussion from Tekken, if you ever played Tekken before. But Kenny has the same specials, but his normals change. And there are three characters he can't be. Um, he can't be any of the guest characters, so that's Johnny Gat and Fencer. But he also can't be Baz. And the lore behind why he can't be Baz is because he doesn't have any rope. But it's really because they ran out of memory because they filled them up with so many animations with all the different characters. But let's go ahead and jump to his normals now.
Nice to meet you. Select your jewels.
I'm going to go ahead and start with Kick Jam.
Select your duds.
And we'll have Stream be our comparative character here. Now, it's going to be hard to show you what his normals are because his normals will change round to round, but there are certain things that stay the same about him that I want to mention. And so right now it looks like he's Kung. You can tell by the kickback and the kick. But for one thing, one of the characteristics that you should pay deeply attention to is the fact that Kenny is short. And he has a wider stance than the normal characters. So as you can see, his height is very low compared to Stream actually gave us some RNG luck, and he's actually at his tallest. But most characters are about this tall, and even then you can see how Stream is Kenny is a lot shorter than most of the cast. This shortness allows him to do things like duck Fencer sword automatically. It allows him to, if you do an automatic kick with S kills air special right after the teleport, you'll actually just kick over a grounded Kenny. You need to delay your kick as S kill to actually hit him. And that being said, when you're going for headshots against Kenny, you just have to adjust your aim a little bit lower. Now, he is shorter than most characters, but he's also wider than most characters. And with his like stance where he puts his feet apart, so this front area is usually a little bit bigger. I wouldn't say it's like Mr. N wide because Mr. N is actually pretty wide like compared to his kick, but with Kenny, you don't know. It depends on where his kick is, but he is wider than most of the cast, so going for toe taps can be advantageous against Kenny. Figuring out who you are each round is kind of and how fast and how early is kind of something that you always have to do as Kenny. Both you and your opponent are in the dark about who you are in the game. And it isn't until you actually make an action, and usually that's a jump up or kick back will be the first action. But there are other ways to figure out like who you are. As you play, you'll kind of get used to noticing how other characters move, but um, there are certain things with like, so right now I'm Kung,
My meta game.
and the next round I will be someone different. It could be
Round
Kung again
two.
actually.
Divekick.
And from that kickback, I think I'm Sensei, but I could be wrong. Yeah, looks like Sensei. So Sensei has two different kicks as normal Sensei, but as Kenny, you don't have boots on your hands, so you can only do one of the kicks. Now, I knew I was Sensei just because I have played Kenny a decent amount, and I can recognize who he is. But usually I'll do it on the kick, but you can do it on the kickback. On the jump up, it'll be a little bit harder, but if you can look at the speed at which they jump and how high they jump, that can help. The problem is if you jump up really high and the person's paying attention, they could possibly get into a better position and maybe punish your jump altogether. So it might be a little risky jumping up high. So one of the things I like to recommend to players who play Kenny is kind of what to do at the start of the round, and to vary it, to vary what you do at the start of the round to kind of figure out who you are at the beginning. And one thing I like to do is I usually do a KDK to start the round, and I'll try to figure out when that is. And to improve this, you can actually hold K and then go into a KDK. This will allow you to, one, if you're Jafeli, you'll see your feet glow right at the beginning. Two, if you are Stream or S-Kill, you have two jumps. And if you do a normal KK, which is normally a kickback kick, as Stream or S-Kill, you'll just retreat very, very far. And you don't want to give up all your space at the beginning of the round. And so if you split a little D in there, then what happens is whenever you're the double jump character, you'll actually go back and then up. So it doesn't kill all your momentum, and then you can kick, and then you'll kick forward again. And then three, if you're anyone else, it'll act like KDK is basically KK, because the D doesn't do anything for the other characters, and so you don't really lose anything. So Jeff having that glowing feet right at the beginning, there's another for Stream and for Shoals. Whenever you do your kickback, you will have wings. I think even when you jump, maybe. Actually, it might only be when you kick back. I can't remember if Stream gets it on the jump. Hopefully we'll roll him soon so you can find out. But whenever you see wings on Kenny, he can only be two characters, and that's Stream or Dr. Scholes. But let me show you kind of what that looks like when we do the KDK to start, and holding K at the beginning as well, so you guys can see my buttons, so hopefully you can follow along. Alright, let's get killed here. Now I'm holding K.
Round three.
Alright.
Divekick.
Looks like I'm just failing. That's a very good example. So it allows you to kind of go into your charge right away. I sometimes forget. I get to forget to do it a lot, I should say. But holding K at the beginning of the round is probably the best thing to do. That way you can figure out if you're Jafeli at the beginning.
Round
So let's see who I am now. I'm not Jafeli. Looks like I was S-Kill, but I did a jump up first because I forgot to let go of K to press it again. So let's go ahead and knock out me, and hopefully I was gonna knock out my my meter too, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, so I pressed KDK a little bit too fast and ended up using my my air special. But here's the wings on Stream. Looks like it doesn't have wings when it does a normal jump. I can see the second jump he'll have wings. But this backwards movement, you can kind of tell it's got wings and it goes up. So if you have wings and you go up, you're going to be Stream. Looks like I'm Jafeli again. I was able to figure that out because I held K. Be nice to get Shoals. Let's see if I can channel my RNG here and get Shoals right away. Okay, so there was I held K, I did KDK to begin, and I know I'm Mr. N now, and I didn't commit too much, or lose too much, ground. And N is good because, comparatively, this is a good example. Comparatively, to the actual Mr. N is a lot wider, and so when you're playing as Kenny N, you play a little bit differently because you're not as big as Mr. N. And so your kick is a bit more effective, and as you're moving forward, you can't get clipped as much as Mr. N does. But there's also um, cons to this. I guess we can call this size difference. Basically, Kenny always stays relatively the same size. So like the proportions on his body and his kick are usually the same size. So I'm gonna go ahead and next time I get stream, I can show you what stream and Kenny look like. But if you look at Kenny in stream, you can tell that stream is just a larger character in general. And when stream kicks, his body is actually pretty big. See if I get stream, it'd be awesome, but I should have actually done it when I had stream earlier. Alright, let's see. This is dive. Kind of hard to see here, but you can kind of tell that stream is just a larger character than Kenny, and that manifests in the fact that his feet will be a lot bigger than Kenny's feet when Kenny is actually stream. So the way that stream can move and steer, Kenny can also do that, but his kickbox won't be as large as stream's. His kickbox will always be molded to his feet, and so larger characters like I'd say Redacted, Stream, they have larger feet kickboxes, and Kenny doesn't benefit from those. All right, continue here.
Nothing lasts forever. Round 9 Divekick.
Looks like I'm Cub. Again, I just held K and did KDK. Other things you can do at the beginning of round is you can actually go ahead and try to jump and kick right at the beginning. But because you don't know who you are, that can be very risky. And sometimes you get wins, and other times you get headshotted. So you can do that at your own risk. You can also adjust the timing at which you make your jump and movement. And I would say that usually you don't want to wait too long because then you're giving the other character enough space to build meter without any pressure. So try to figure who you are fairly early, but don't always do exactly the same thing. You wanna make it a bit more unpredictable, just so the other player can't just read your pattern and try to take advantage of that pattern. So occasionally you should throw in, just YOLO kicks where you hit D and K. You could do DKK if you really want to. Yeah, there it saved me because I was stream, but this is perfect time to see if I can show the kick difference. Okay, let's take a look at this too. As you can tell, stream is a bit longer. Kenny. And I would say that Kenny's hitbox is probably be there, whereas Stream's hitbox is probably here. So you want to just take note of these differences. When you're Kenny, you have to worry about not being as big as your counterpart that you are copying. But you still have the ability to steer, and you actually have Stream's Kickfactor as well. And we'll go over that in the Kickfactor session. But glad I was able to pick up a Stream role there.
Round 3 Divekick.
Okay, so once you figure out who you are, you can kind of This is actually redacted. You can kind of tell that redacted looks a lot bigger if you can remember what redacted looks like, but your kickbox isn't as scary as redacted's. But you do retain, I guess, the speed and gravity of each of the characters you copy. And I want to note that gravity is something you want to pay attention to because, the faster you land will change a lot of things, and understanding the gravity will allow you to identify the characters a little bit faster, just because you'll get a sense of how fast they fall during their kickback. Because sometimes maybe instead of doing a KDK to start, you just do a one kickback to go backwards because you see the opponent is trying to kick you from very far away. And you'll know as soon as you do a kickback who you'll be when you do it, if you have understanding of the gravity of each of the characters and their kickback arcs. If there's anything as far as normals that I want to talk about besides short, wide,
Round 4.
I think I talked
Divekick.
about Jafali's feet glowing. We talked about wings on Shoals and Stream. I guess if you are going to learn how to play Kenny, you should have basics down for each of the characters.
Hurry up.
And one of the ones that most Kennys do have trouble with, and I had trouble when I was playing, is a character like Stream.
Round
Understanding
5.
like how to move with the double
Divekick.
jump characters is something that's won't come intuitively at all. So you want to train up your Stream and train up your S skills because you're gonna get sometimes there's gonna be days when you just get rolls of 3 Stream in a row or 3 Kenny or 3 S skill in a row, and sometimes more. So just be wary of that.
Headshot.
All right, I think that's enough to go into the ground specials now.
Round 7. Divekick.
So ground special, see how long it will take. Let's me to 0 meter here.
Round 8. Divekick.
Both of Kenny's specials are revolve around this bullet or this ball. It's called like a spirit bullet, I believe. This is the ground special. It puts out a stationary ball that
Hurry up.
comes out. I think it lasts for 4 seconds, maybe less. It doesn't persist across rounds, but it will stay out and then disappear when you put it out. It has a little bit of a startup, so see 1, 2, 3, 4, and gone. Okay. Yeah, I would say about 4 seconds. But if the opponent hits it, they will freeze, all your meter will go away, and they will be paused for 1 second. So that'll allow you to kick them, set up a headshot. Do note that it will drain all of your meter. So if it hits, and you had extra meter left after putting it out, the freeze action will erase the rest of your meter. Also, if you have ground special out, you can't build meter while it's out. And this is one of the things that I think is makes it used less. So here, I have it out. Notice that my meter build is not moving until it's out. Then now it's moving again. Let's show that one more time. There it is. You can get hit by the ball yourself, so you can go ahead and like move around and go through it. But don't think you can just like build a ball and then build meter behind and then just keep playing behind these balls. The main use I would say that most players have used it for is some kind of defense, mainly at line. Or like say if you're trying to defend fence or sword, you can put a ball above the sword. If you want to you could use it as a parry, but whoops, it's very slow and I wouldn't recommend it because it just doesn't move fast enough, and most of the time you get kicked first. Yeah, this back fade is just a little bit too slow to be used as a parry. So you want to be conscious that it's not fast enough to actually react to kicks that well, and the profile of it is pretty small as well. So I mean, it's only yay big, so they can kick you here or here, as long as they don't make any contact with the ball. So using it kind of as a parry where you can try to get them frozen as they're attacking you doesn't really work that well. Um, do note that it's a way to move backwards without jumping up if you have a character whose kickback is somewhat vertical. You can use it to back up and avoid a headshot if needed. So it can be used as a niche like backwards fade instead of just using it for the ball. So um, that can come into play against characters uh, who might be like have a very steep angle or have like a drop kick like Jafeli, where you might not want to jump out of the way, but you might want to slide out of the way. So keep that in mind that that could be a niche use for the special. I think that's about it for the ground special. Um, I think it's called ground bullet. Um, it's the whole term is called spirit bullet, and his air special is called homing spirit bullet, but it's the same bullet except it actually chases the uh, the opponent around in the air at a very slow speed. Let's go back into the game and show you. Of course, I can't build meter while it's out, so go ahead and bring enough for air special. And this is Kenny's bread and butter here. The air special is kind of what makes him Kenny. It's a very strong tool, but you can do it from a jump. You can also cancel a kick, and you can see it kind of come out. It'll follow the other player, and once it hits them, it'll freeze them, and you'll lose all your meter just like when you had the ground one. You also can't build meter while it's out, I believe. So let's this is, I think, redacted. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can build meter while it's out. And you'll notice that it does drain your meter while it's out. So let's see. So keep an eye on my meter. It'll start to slowly drain, and when it drains all the way, the bullet will then disappear. So let's see if I can. Yeah, there it goes. It disappeared. I was trying to dodge with stream so it wouldn't hit stream. And then once you read out a meter, it disappears, and you have to build up meter again. You can end up doing things like doing a kick, doing your special. You can also cancel your fade back and your air special with another kick as well. And this is pretty important because you do have a little bit of time before the bullet actually comes out, that you can actually get a pause and a kick, and basically you use just a little bit of meter to start it, and then you kind of get that meter back as you kick again. So as soon as you hit D plus K, it'll start to drain a little bit. And then right after you kick, you'll end up building that meter back. And so in essence, you're kind of getting this free pause where you don't gain meter or lose meter really. But having a pause mid-air is very good because you can delay your attack just a little bit. You can also cancel the bullet a little bit further where you kick out of the fade. So it's not just right away. You can cancel anytime during the fade back. You can cancel the animation into a kick, and this is very useful in trying to basically pick the best time to actually use the kick after your pause. And there's something I want to also show, and that's this also auto faces, so as soon as you hit bullet in the air, you'll turn to face your opponent. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I was not far enough. A bit unlucky there with the redacted roll, but hopefully I can pick another character. You guys can see me kick across. I'll use special, and it'll turn me around, and it'll shoot the bullet towards the other character.
This from above.
Go ahead and
Round
build up the special now.
one. Divekick. Take that.
There, I'm facing the other player, and I hit them with the bullets. But you can also do it where it auto faces you and you cancel, and you just get another kick. Now you can only do this one time in the air, and so you aren't able to do it multiple times with like Shoals who can do their air special multiple times. You can't have both bullets in the air. I should just mention that you can't have the ground bullet and the air bullet. You can also have 2 air bullets, but it will drain your special a bit faster because you have basically double the amount draining your special meter. But yeah, as you can see, having a turnaround is pretty strong for most characters, and you can basically be a certain character that doesn't have turnaround. Like this is Dive, and Dive doesn't normally have a turnaround, but as Kenny, he does. And that's basically me just activating and quickly canceling to basically engage my kick again, and it does the auto face if you are on the other side. Alright, let me talk about, I guess, setups. The basic setup is... Get a little bit closer. Basic setup is you let your ball go out in the air, and it covers this this high option, and then you come in for a low attack, and basically you put them in a spot where they can't jump and they can't stand still. And it's a very strong attack, and that's what makes Kenny fairly strong, is because once he has bullet, he can basically put the enemy in a position where it's almost a guaranteed kill. I would say that you can avoid it. It's just really hard to, and you have to, you know, be ready for these types of setups when you're playing against Kenny. Usually the higher jumpers will have an easier time setting up that high spirit bullet, but even the lower jumpers can put you in an awkward spot, just because the homingness will kind of like follow you and then curve around to hit you. But the ball is actually pretty small, so trying to avoid it, there are you want to just understand that it is kind of small, so there are opportunities and windows where you can avoid it coming to you by just like kind of raising the jump next to it. Let's see, what else can we talk about? The turnarounds, they work whether you're in Kickfactor or not. So having turnaround kicks while you have the extra speed can be awesome, and doing the air special when you have a kick factor of, say, like Jafeli, who has boom kicks that Kenny does inherit. You can do things like we've seen Laitome do in the past, and that's you start your normally you have a very small jump, like drop kick with Jafeli, with no charge. But if you actually cancel here, cancel your kick here, and let's say you got kick factor, your second kick after kick factor will be the long one, and so you basically turn your short kick into a long kick by using your air special to kind of give you a pause and reset it. So this is the first kick during kick factor. I think that's about it. And that kind of is a good segue to talk about Kickfactor itself. So Kickfactor, for the most part, he'll borrow the Kickfactor of every character. I don't know if there's one that he doesn't have, but most characters will be extra speed. And the 3 characters that you want to kind of be wary of, or at least understand, is Stream. Stream has mini missiles. Kick factor for Kenny looks like holy arrows. I think it's like this like DNA with a point, but it spirals down, and those are basically the mini missiles of Kenny. He also has S kills teleport jumps. So S kill gets kick factor, and I think his kick factor lasts for 40 seconds. Yeah, 40 seconds, and he basically has teleport jumps just like S kill. If you have played story mode, you know what jumps look like as when you play against boss S kill, but obviously he doesn't get the extra speed from it. Um, let's see what other ones. Jafali is one where he can do the boom kicks, and I think that's it. I know Shoals gets like less startup, but that's I think less startup is kind of just extra speed. If you want to think about it that way. Kick factor does last across rounds, and it can change. So if you get kick factor as say S kill,
Hurry up!
or in this case I'll get it as dive. See if I can get there before time runs out. Doesn't look like it.
Round 7. Divekick!
Alright, so this is Shoals. Alright, I'm gonna wait till the time runs out to kind of get kick factor. That way we can see um, that it does persist across rounds.
Hurry up!
And and you don't know what your kick factor will be next round. So trying to figure that out and not give yourself into a bad position. It looks like I'm Markman. So I had the extra speed there, but at the beginning of that one I was trying to hold K to see if I was Jafali. You don't always have to do that. You can actually just not do it, and hopefully you can make that as a surprise. Because once you see your glowing feet, the other person will see your enemy will see your glowing feet as well. So decide how you want to figure out who you are in the beginning, especially when you have kick factor, because it might give away your surprise attack.
Yes, from above.
All right, let's see if hopefully I can get a nice roll and roll one of the special ones. Oh, looks like this is kick. All right, let's see where I am next time. But I got a kill. We're going to the next round. I'm going to have kick factor still. Looks like it's Shoals. I still have kick factor.
Round 3.
There's S kill, and you notice that S kills does last longer than round. So even if you don't fight here, you will have kick factor with maybe a little bit left on the next round. See how much actually I have saved up for the next round. But if I think I maybe had half at the start of this, so I only have like a very small small part of the toe there. But we'll see if I can utilize it for a very fast attack here. It wasn't too good because I had a vertical kicker, but just keep in mind that if you do get kick factor, the next roll that you get can be a bit more beneficial. If I can get missiles here so you can see what missiles look like. Race against the clock. Alright, so it might be hard to see on might be hard to see in the beach. But this is the arrow right here, the holy arrow. I don't know if it's very faint on the beach, but that's the holy arrow, and that comes out every 90 frames. If you play a stream, you'll know that well. But if you're playing as Kenny, you might not get this that often, so you won't be able to practice with it. But just know that he does have streams as kick factor. Alright, so let's talk about common offense.
Round 6. Kick.
So in general, we've talked about how good his air special is, and that's kind of like what defines his mostly his I guess his path to a victory, because he's a very I would say extreme character where when he has air special, he's a threat, and when he doesn't have air special, he's just a subpar copy. And so most of the time when you're playing as Kenny, you're looking to find out how to build your air special safely. And once you do build it up, you can use it in a multitude of different ways that we talked about. You can use it as the homing, you can use it as the pause, basically, when you're kicking in the air. Um, you can use it as a threat and get the kill without the freeze. Um, as soon as it hits, or as soon as you get to freeze up another player, then you're gonna have to find your way to build it back up again to build up your threat. So a lot of the strategies around Kenny do involve this bullet, and how do you use it so that you don't actually freeze, but you can still get the kill, um, or just how to build it up safely with your meter build. But I want to say that most of your offense will revolve around getting kills by using the bullet effectively and efficiently. Now, the ground bullet, I would say, is less likely to be a strategy. It might be more of a strategy against characters that Air Bullet is not as effective against, but Air Bullet is usually so good that wasting meter on a ground bullet just isn't worth it. And you're gonna have to figure that out as you play different characters, and it really depends on what you roll as your character stance and who you're playing against, and that combination will kind of inch you towards, is ground special even worth using in this scenario? And most of the time, the answer is going to be no. Um, and you have to think about, if you do end up losing meter in certain situations, just know that it will affect. Um, if you don't have Spirit Bullet, Air Bullet left for next round, then you could be at a very big disadvantage if your roll just happens to be a bad matchup. So it is something you want to be conscious about, and you want to always be aware of how much meter you have and how far away you are um, Air Bullet. Now, the other offense, I would say from Kenny, is just basic footsies, and that's a lot of characters like, I want to say, Kung have very good normals, and if you get a character with good normals, then you can kind of just be good at basic dive kick, and that's using your normals to create space, do fast attacks, um, and certain characters just are have very good normals that you can use that as a kill and save your bullet for your next roll. Um, I think of Kung as the poster child for this one, just because she can do a lot without her specials, and she actually builds meter decently fast if you're moving. So you can actually build up to a bullet safely, and you won't even necessarily need it to get a kill with Kung. Um, Another character who is pretty good but doesn't build as fast is um, Redacted's pretty quick, so you can use it defensively. Fortunately, you don't have Duck as Redacted, but you are still a little bit short, which is nice. So there are times where they could just kick over you just because they kick too high, and they're not expecting Feral, so they won't overcompensate for that. But Redacted's got good normals, so you can use that speed to kind of get kills without having to use Bullet. Obviously, having Bullet and good normals combined is going to be a very good offense, but um, keep in mind that you will roll a different character after the after the win. Um, I think it's time to pull in our guest speaker, and that's Laitome. Laitome, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So Laitome has been an awesome NA player for a long time, and I'm hoping you can uh, I'm not sure who's watching this. They've probably seen our previous discussions where you joined in for some random casual matches.
That
But
might
if
just
you
be
could,
me.
if you could do an introduction just again, for those who might not have seen those or know who you are.
uh, hey, lie to me. I'm the server's Kenny player essentially. I do actually. I've been playing Divekick. I want to say for a very long time now. I've been playing since base Divekick, and overall, my best play would be Combo Breaker 2015, where I got second place. And yeah, Kenny is a very complicated character. He's reliant a lot on his meter more so than others, and he also requires you to learn 11 other characters in order to be effective. Although you can technically get away with only knowing 10 of them.
Um, when you said your best play was in 2015, I think you're only referring to your offline public results, but I still think
Yeah.
that you've done plenty of plays since then, and you've grown as far as your Kenny play since then as well. So definitely a good person to have for this topic on Kenny. The offense I was talking about earlier, and that's mainly building air special and understanding your which characters have very good normal attacks so that you can save your special for the next character. That's kind of like what I think is Kenny's bread and butter. You gotta just work that air special. Do you have any disagreements, or did you want to add anything to the common offense section?
Uh, You're more or less on the money. It's more about building meter, and then once you have that option for air bullet, using it to pressure your opponent or fake him out. Uh, there are, however, more stances than just Kung and Red that are good normals.
For
End
sure.
stance in particular, um, is extremely powerful for some reason. Outside of the missing belly, you literally just DK, DK, DK in, and you will 9 times out of 10 win the exchange, unless your opponent goes high.
So that's because, or we're theorizing it's because you get basically the best attributes from N, which is his speed, but you don't suffer his negative attributes, which is his size.
Yeah. Well, it's also because despite being very vertical, it still has a lot of horizontal movement. So, like as a result, like you can close in as if you were a kick with that stance. Another good stance that you could just play neutrals with is, of course, dive. One thing you should be wary of as Kenny is that for the most part, he is a slightly worse version of the base character. And by that I mean with the exception of N, he tends to be more or less the same, except his hitboxes are smaller, which is a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
And the fact that his stance is wide, which means that, for example, if you in brothers matchup, that wide stance actually does matter a lot. Against Sensei, that wide stance matters a lot, and
Basically
yeah, as a
susceptible
result, you have to be a
to
lot more
more toe
careful and
taps.
neutral.
Sorry about that. I was saying basically susceptible to more toe taps. Is
Yeah,
that
because
correct?
his
Yeah.
toe is farther out than everybody else's compared to where his kicks come out from.
And then you were saying something about neutrals? Sorry.
Um, yeah, I was just saying that. So effectively, that means that you have to be very careful and neutral, uh, because you will get toe tapped a lot as Kenny. That's just the reality of being a wide character. But on the other hand, Kenny's short stance also gives you options that some other characters don't have, namely the option of standing still.
Do you have a favorite offensive stance?
And
And for sure? Okay.
you literally just DK, 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 and your opponent is either forced to respect it or retreat or go for a risky attack.
Now, a lot of offense is kind of queued up into like who are you as Kenny and who you're playing against, but I know that all of us have like characters we don't like to roll. As far as the like to roll, I should share mine. My favorite stance is dive because I like that he's very neutral and where if I roll him, I am fine in most matchups. Like, oh, I can work with this. And when you get Kickfactor with a turnaround, it's pretty darn good. And so that's my favorite stance as Kenny. And you said that your favorite stance is N, but who's the worst stance, the one you hate to see?
Either stream or S kill. Um,
Uh,
Stream stance because while yeah, you do get stream steering, you don't have his length. Thanos illustrated this perfectly earlier. Is that because stream is longer than Kenny, that means when he's adjusting his angle, a lot more of the screen is covered by that movement. in comparison to Kenny. And unfortunately, Kenny gets the short end of the stick by being super slow and easy to punish. And unfortunately, we don't have the infinite flight glitch anymore. So, as a result,
Okay,
Kenny
so
tends to be
just
fairly vulnerable as stream stance.
let me explain this to our viewers, just because they might not know about this glitch. But basically, you could do air special more than once in the air prior to AE as stream. And what you would do is you kind of go into this horizontal kick. You cancel the kick and reset your kick, but you wouldn't lose any meter like I showed earlier. But you can keep doing that, and you never hit the ground, and so you could just fly in the air sideways for as long as you wanted, unless you got kicked out of the air. But that was the glitch, and I think I'm not sure if he could do multiple air specials as other characters, but they definitely
Nope,
took it
it
out of
was
the game
only
after
stream.
that. There is, I would say not a glitch, but maybe it is a glitch. But when you're Kenny and you are stream, um, you do have this thing where your kick doesn't start at 45 after you do a kick cancel. So normally, when you kick as stream, you have this 45-degree angle. If you move into like a horizontal angle and then you do a pause, um, when you kick again, you'll kick at this at that same angle, so you won't return to the 45-degree angle like Stream does when he does his flame bait. When Stream does it after his flame bait, he starts again at 45. So that is something to be conscious about. And we're gonna run into a bunch of these character-specific things that we might want to explain, but I won't explain it until I run into it, I guess. So why not S kill then?
Skill. Actually, no. Skill has been better for me as of late. Mostly because most people just don't respect the stance anymore because it's so bad.
I agree with you that S-Kill stance has very little offensive capabilities. S-Kill in general relies, or S-Kill the actual character relies on his air special, and you don't have his air special, so your offense is kind of really nerfed. But one thing that S-Kill does is he builds meter pretty quickly, and he doesn't get steamrolled as far as defense goes, unless you're playing against Kick or something like that. But most of the time, you can hold your own as S-Kill. Uh, but yeah, like chasing down anybody with S-Kill is horrendous.
Like if your opponent's concussed and you have S kill, give up trying to hit them.
Yeah,
You're
building
not
meter
gonna reach
is
them in
fine.
time. They're gonna be like almost done with the concussion by the time you reach them.
So both double jump characters are the ones you want to see the least, I guess.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's mostly due to traits inherent to them. Well, I guess that's the only reason why I would dislike them is because of how their movement is. But it's not because they're double jump characters. It's
No,
just because
yeah,
that their normals just don't translate well for Kenny.
no,
I mean, back
I agree.
pre AE, SKL Kenny actually was top tier because invincibility for free. But
um, my character, and I know we've talked about this. Me and you have talked about this a lot, and the one I don't like rolling is Markman, and this is because Markman, his normal counterpart, has items to space it out to control the matchup, and you don't have the items as Kenny, and your meter build is so slow that I can't get if I'm at 0 meter. I know I'm not getting to my air special unless they give me tons of room. And I can't create that room using items, and so you're kind of just stuck with this special or without special and having to use these bad normals because they decided to um, make Mark Friend's offense in his items and his upkick. So his normals lost out, and you don't have any of his good stuff, basically. You do, however, have his backdash just frame and his lightning kick just frame. That is something to mention as Markman. And it's good I brought that up because it does come into effect sometimes when you want to get that thunder kick, that faster kick. You can go for them. You have the ability.
it also works the other way, where sometimes you get the thunder kick and then you cancel it, and now you're just a sitting duck, way closer to your opponent than you were expecting.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes you hit that thunder kick and you didn't mean to, or you're not ready for it, and it puts you in a bad spot. All right, now that we're done complaining about our the roles that we don't want. Might be a good time to talk about counterplay, unless you had anything you wanted to add to offense.
Uh, no, I think that's about it in terms of general offense. Everything else is basically matchup specific.
Um, okay, but how about we talk about just because when we were talking about certain characters, it brought up like certain Kenny quirks. Um, one more thing I wanted to ask you is there like a special move or a certain character that you like with a certain move? Like how I liked Dive's kick factor turnaround. Obviously, Dive kick factor is already good. You add turnaround, it just makes it even better. But is there a character that you love to use Kenny's air special with? And then what type of setup does that look like?
Uh, there's two that immediately come to mind. One is Jafali. You mentioned this earlier. How if Jafali gets kick factor, you can cancel that kick that gets you
Ah,
kick factor into a boom kick. And in some matchups, that it's actually just a straight up win condition. Like if your opponent like enters a certain part of the screen, they're just dead without any counterplay.
yeah, boom kicks plus turnaround boom kick. It's got to be awesome.
Well, more importantly, the fact that you can store the boom kick
Uh-huh.
without charging it.
Yeah. And I think
And
you get that immediate like doing a single boom kick and linking up two boom kicks, the link up is actually faster because you get that initial speed again in the middle of the kick as well.
yeah, there's also the fact that like because of the fact that you're not actually in kick factor before the kick before you activate it, you can literally just stall out an entire round because you're not wasting meter. Like, I'll probably do this against you at some point where if I have Jeff stance and I'm near full kick factor, I'll just neutral jump constantly.
Because you know you can
And
turn it into a far
yeah, because
kick
I
at
know I
any
can turn it into
moment.
a boom kick at a moment's
Yeah.
notice and just punish anything you do.
So basically, Laitome is I'm just gonna try to draw this. When you have boom kicks, that means you have this option and this option whenever you're one kick away from kick factor, basically at all times, because as soon as you do this one kick, you'll get kick factor, and then you have the option during this kick to decide if you want to cancel it into a boom kick, and that puts you in a really strong position where your neutral jump can be a short or a far attack. So it's pretty strong.
The other example that comes to mind is actually Shoals. And it's not even really anything special. It's basically you fire out the bullet to force a bunch of kickbacks, and then you just go in high with Shoals. Uh,
Ah,
it works surprisingly well just because of the way Shoals' speed and, well, at least kick gem Shoals and the bullet line up.
yeah, you're basically giving them two air threats that are really hard to maneuver around. Because they want to be able to move like on the ground to avoid Shoals' kick, but if there's an air bullet kind of chasing them around, that's gonna make it really hard too. All right, so I besides kick, I like a lot of the taller characters, or not the taller characters, the high jump characters, because doing turnarounds with them is super beneficial. It allows me to get kills without actually using the bullet. And just like you said, N has a very high vertical jump, and so you'll have characters who like try to go underneath, and they can't do that anymore once you have the bullet, because then you can just turn around midway and still catch them. And I like to do this with like Shoals and Sensei, or sorry, not Shoals, Mr. N and Sensei, a lot, just because it allows me to get kills without having to waste that actual to do an actual freeze. You just try to bait them to go under you, and then you can just turn around and kick them. That's one of my favorite moves.
Yeah. Although the more applicable, the more common situation is that you throw out a high kick, and then you stop it like right before your opponent is able to punish it, and then you punish the punish.
Yeah, that is the classic bait the punish them for trying to punish you.
Yeah,
And it all
and if they
depends
don't
on
fall for it,
yeah.
you have like the perfect high bullet, low Kenny setup.
Actually, that's a good time. That particular scenario we should talk about in the counterplay. So
All right.
let's talk about the counterplay now. And I want to say, like, avoiding or trying to deal with the special is something you have to deal with. So let's talk about uh, how do you, when you're playing against the fellow Kenny, like when you're looking for that, uh, I guess that setup, it's something that should always be in the back of your mind. You should always have an idea of how much meter Kenny has and how they've been throwing out their bullet setups. And most of the time, it'll be kick, bullet mid screen, kick again. That's like the normal pattern. And that kick again is the thing you want to figure out because if they kick too early, you can catch them before the bullet becomes a problem. Because sometimes they'll kick further past their bullet, or sometimes they'll just be too close to you that you can kind of like tap them out before the bullet comes to you. And this is cool because you get the kill, but it does leave them with a decent amount of meter. I think the other option is just to back up, try to avoid the bullet and let it, drain out the meter. Um, and a third option is just let yourself get hit by the bullet, but get hit high enough that they can't headshot you. And this is because if you're gonna die, if you're in a position where you're gonna die, you might as well take their meter with you along to your grave. When you lose the round, but at least they lose all their meter and they have to build it up again. But I think that those are the ways that I was looking at dealing with Kenny air bullets. Are there other ways that you can see or add to? Or any notes you want to add to that?
Method is to try and actually challenge Kenny. Now, this only works in certain matchups as certain characters. Both high jumpers can't do this, but like if you like kick or dive, or I guess just brothers or someone with like decent horizontal and vertical movement, uh,
Oh, are you
you have
referring
to
to
remember that
like?
Kenny is still Kenny, even when he has bullet heading towards you. So as a result, if you are brave enough, you can just challenge Kenny directly before the bullet adjusts to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to like trying to hit him like as he's putting out the bullet. Is that what you're trying to say, or is it the bullet's
That
already out?
too, but more often than not, that's more a mistake on the Kenny's part for misjudging their distance
Yeah. How?
than
What's a safe initiation?
like what can you actively do in that situation.
Okay, so it is an option if the Kenny puts a bullet too close, but one of the options you're saying is that just have it in the air and try to act like it isn't there and play as normal, or
Yeah, basically because of the way the bullet works, you can do neutral jumps to force it upwards. Like if you're like mid screen, you can jump right as the bullet comes out, so that way the bullet initially goes up, and then before the bullet can turn around and go down, that's when you try to challenge Kenny directly, where he's not directly covered by the bullet. It's not very easy to show on stream,
yeah,
fortunately.
stream might be a bit
Uh,
tough.
if you were like say N or Shoals or Sensei or Dive, actually, that would be a much better showcase of it. Especially Dive, because Dive can actually go low as well. Yeah, stream is just too slow to put off.
So mainly the fast jumpers will have a good idea for this tactic, like kind of just jumping, having the bullet curl around and try to attack through that. Is that what
Yeah,
I'm hearing? Yeah. Okay.
those that can both that have like both a high jump but also decent horizontal movement.
Gotcha.
So once again, that's like Dive, Shoals, even Markman to an extent.
All right. So the other thing that I would mention as a very good Kenny power play is just make it hard for him to get get that meter. I feel like just like against Fencer, you want to take away whatever tool that they have. When a Fencer, you try to play against their sword and make sure they don't have their sword. Against Kenny, you want to pressure him so that building this meter for it, for air special, just it's a lot harder. And he'll eventually get bullets,
Hurry
but
up!
the less he has bullet, the more options you have. And in general, your character basics, you'll get to your lower air special or your lower ground special,
Round
and you'll have
Same
more tools
dive
than
kick.
basic Kenny. Basic Kenny will be less, not as good as the copy. So you can try to pressure him more and make it hard for him to build meter, and look for when you know
Hurry up!
when they're trying to get greedy and trying to build meter a little bit too fast as well.
Judgment.
Adding on to that, yes, that is probably the number one way
Round.
to
Irrevim. Dive kick.
stop to the number one counterplay to Kenny is just to be very aggressive with your pressure. Because remember, Kenny doesn't know who he is,
Yeah.
and unless he's willing to gamble, he can't He can't open with an attack unless he's willing to gamble. Um,
That's a very good call out. So you have a little bit of room there where
yeah.
you can advance during this time of confusion as well, but you do have to be wary about those YOLO kicks.
Yeah, but the thing is, more often than not, the YOLO kick will end in the opponent's favor, simply because it whiffs. And like all of a sudden, and now the element of surprise is gone. And then of course, there are just some Kenny stances that just really have a hard time building meter, like Schultz against Brothers. Uh, yeah, so basically, get close to Kenny, like pressure him, like take advantage of the fact that he has worse neutral than normal, or at least worse footsies than normal. Because if you can, because remember, if you're both the same character, Kenny's stance is wider than yours. And as a result, that means you're more likely to toe tap him. You're more likely to take the round if you just go in for footsies.
Yeah, speaking of which, that brings up a great point, and that's aim for those toe taps. Try not to aim too high because of the shortness. Um, so be careful with that. And when you're trying to go in on this neutral game, just be wary that if you kick too high, you might just kick right over Kenny. And as Kenny, standing still is a pretty good option a lot of the times. Just because if people aren't aiming correctly, they just sail over you, and it sets you up for a nice turnaround kick. But once they pass you, you jump up and punish them. I think that's it for counterplay. It might be a good segue to concussion, actually, because concussion is kind of like
Oh lord.
concussion is really bad for Kenny. So if you can land headshots on Kenny, it's gonna be very strong because one, obviously he's gonna be concussed for the next round. But we just talked about how good his air special is. He has 4 seconds where he can't build meter, and then he's gonna start on 0 meters, so he's very far away from having his air special. So concussing Kenny is very good because it takes away his best tool, on top of just being good. Like lining up headshots is good normally, but the fact that you put him so far away from his goal to beat you with his air special, that it has extra value for headshots. Um, in addition, when you headshot Kenny, he also stands up for you. He's in this nice crouch stance where he gets the benefit from being short. But when he's concussed, I can't show concussed right now. I have to pick a different character because it's going to it's going to end the round. But you'll see he kind of stands up and he loses his height. I'm gonna try to mark
Actually, that win pose is like a perfect example of like how tall he is concussed.
yes, it is. But let's go ahead and show the actual concussion here. I'm gonna show his height, so I think he's right here. So,
One. Dive kick.
oops.
Headshot.
Alright, so I marked the line for where he is when he's concussed.
Round two.
Oh,
Yeah, so
hurts
look,
to see it.
he's like pretty much as tall as regular dive now. And yeah, so this whole area right here makes it easier to line up headshots now because he's not as short. Do note that he's not as wide now. I think it's right here. Yeah, so I'll mark when he gets out of it to see like the difference on like how wide he gets. So you do lose your wideness, but you have your you get that tall you get taller. And the other thing is you also don't know who you are when you're concussed. So it's another factor. So concussions against Kenny can get kind of steamrolly if you end up being in that position. So
High kick.
let's go ahead and take a look at when it runs out. Okay. So his wideness isn't too much wider. Maybe a shoe's width, but you do have that extra width that kind of comes back. But I think the standing up is definitely a more detrimental. You're used to being short, and it saves you a lot of times. And being taller and just exposing your head to more danger is really rough.
Yeah, if, essentially Kenny loses out on his unique advantage in neutral, which is his short height, and as a result, he becomes as tall as everybody else. As a consequence, everything that used to not work on him but works on other characters now works on him. Uh, Also, once again, the issue of not knowing who you are just makes yellow kicks even riskier, as if they weren't risky enough already.
I want to say that it's also harder to tell who you are, uh, at least for me, because I'm not used to being concussed. Like I'll see the regular stances and the regular like how a kickback looks, and most of the time I can tell it apart. But when I'm concussed, it's really hard to tell between like some of the characters like Markman and Kick. I can't tell just because the modified gravity and speed make it like big. It looks like the same kickback. I don't know who I am.
Uh, okay, so in my experience, because I've played so much freaking Kenny,
uh-huh.
um, I actually can tell the difference between every stance with one kickback,
Awesome.
while concussed and while not. The only exception is Kung and S kill because the initial kickback on S kill is the same as Kung's.
Ah, okay. And does it matter if it's concussed or not, or it's the same thing because they have the same kickback, or at least
Uh,
you
yeah,
know what
it
I mean?
doesn't matter if you're concussed or not. You'll
Gotcha,
know if it's Kung or S kill with one kickback, and you won't be able to tell which until you hit another button.
gotcha. All right, let's talk about the enemy being concussed. So most of the time you have to make a decision
Second shot.
at the beginning of how you're going to approach. I think that this is for
Round
if you're going to approach.
three. High
So
kick.
right here, you have no idea who you are, but you know the enemy is at a disadvantage. And I feel like you can make the decision on your jump. Um, so I usually like to do a DK in this position because I know it's somewhat safer. I say somewhat because doing it as Kung is not safe at all because they can still hit you if you do a little bit too high of a kick. But you can also do a KDK again if you want to be safe. What's your normal approach theory as far as your starting buttons?
Okay. I guess I should say start off with what my starting buttons are like just regularly. Starting off regularly, I obviously just do a kickback just to figure out who I am. Um, when concussed or kick factors, you have a bit of pressure. This is why Kenny's a bit weak offensively, is because you don't know who you are, and yellow kicks tend to end badly for you. So you have several options here. One, you could do a quick KK, uh, just to figure out who you are. If you're really confident or you have kick factor and you're really good at reacting, you can do a just a DK.
I always
Uh,
recommend KDK in case you are a double jump character because it'll be the
yeah.
same as a KK. The only caveat I would say that KDK has is don't do it too fast. Too fast equals you might do your air special.
Yeah. Um, and that's really it. There's no other options really. KK is safe, but you're gonna waste a second of concussion, which could prove vital. DK is much riskier, uh, but
Do, do
it
you ever
also
do just like a neutral jump without a kick?
no.
Okay.
Uh, you can. but that's incredibly risky because with characters' normal jumps, it's actually a lot harder to differentiate than if you just than a kickback.
Okay.
This is mostly because uh, while this is mostly because jumps straight up don't have angles essentially,
Yeah, yeah.
and as a result,
You have one
a
less
lot of the
variable.
jumps blend in effective essentially. Like for example, Sensei and Shoals all look basically the same if you go straight up.
Yeah, they have a
Uh,
very fast vertical jump, and you can't tell uh, right off the bat. It's just harder to tell because you don't have that extra angle to help you out.
I will say one universal factor in all of this is that you stay low. Don't open high unless you are very confident. Um,
I,
because once again, you don't know what you are.
yep, yep.
And if you go high, your opponent will be able to react to what you are, and you won't be able to. And more often than not, that results in you being in just a very bad position as soon as you land.
Yeah, the other thing I want to stress is understanding the characters that you are, and the character matchup will be a big part of when to approach. And if you just are character that you feel wouldn't be good to approach, don't be afraid to just sit back and build meter, especially if you don't have air bullet yet. Um, you can take this time to, if you're going in with a dubious matchup, it might just be better just to build meters so that by the time they get out, you'll have your strongest weapon again. And that happens if
Anyway,
you're S-kill. If you're S-kill, just go ahead and build meter. Don't even approach because you're never gonna catch them.
uh, so anyway, as a result, back on topic to the discussion of concussed characters. Kenny is not very good at headshot training. This is largely because you have no control over who you are, and some characters are better at headshot training than others. For example, Shoals and X Dive, excellent headshot training characters. Uh, Kick, Markman, not so much.
I would call that he's not good at it. It's just more of your headshot chaining is inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
Very, very inconsistent.
And once again, due to the nature of DK and the fact you're on a bit of a time crunch, if your opponent just YOLOs and like you DK and die, like once again, that's a round that goes to them that you probably otherwise wouldn't have lost if you just knew who you were at the beginning.
Oh, speaking of which, we should probably mention that defense as when you're concussed is not showing your character could be a possible avenue, where you basically stand still and don't show them who you are, so that hopefully it'll scare them into not coming in.
Yeah, you basically stand still and make them play the 1 in 11 guessing game of Am I Kung?
Yeah, something. I mean, you could be redacted to who has a bit decent height when you're trying to punish people who are attacking you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead
Standing
and
still is unironically the best defense when concussed in most matchups.
who?
Simply because your opponent will be forced to respect it.
Wait, who?
Uh,
Oh,
just
standing
standing
still.
still when you're
Okay,
concussed.
can be very strong. You said.
Yeah, like more often than not, it's better than spamming kickbacks. But once again, it's highly risky, and certain characters have setups where they just don't care who you are; they'll hit you anyway.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's move into line play. Um, I would say that a lot of this has to do with who you are, but I want to make, just a note that ground special is can be a line option, and also just using your air special as normal can be a good way to play for line. Now, the one thing you have to worry about is playing for line and getting a tie is usually bad for Kenny because of the fact that everyone loses meter. um, It doesn't hurt your opponents
Round
as much
four,
as it hurts you.
Divekick.
I think that's all I have to say online. Do you have anything to add online?
Yeah, ground bullet at the 5-second mark guarantees that they won't be able to stand on it. Which in some matchups like Jafeli, Kung, or Baz,
Hurry up.
that is incredibly powerful. In others, it's absolutely worthless. And yeah, while you do lose your meter, if you have a bad
Round
stance with a losing
five,
matchup,
Divekick.
it might be worthwhile to make that trade.
Fair enough. You don't lose the round and you get to re-roll your stance. Makes sense.
Yeah, Baz in particular is like a character where you're actually okay with playing the line game.
Hurry up.
Like if you actually manage to set up the bullet online, Baz cannot touch Kenny, and as a result, you get to re-roll your stance.
Round
And
six,
on the plus side, Baz
Divekick.
also runs out of meter, but that's very match specific. Yeah, it's mostly ground bullet online, and then see how your opponent reacts around it.
Seven,
If they go for line and they're too late, that's basically a free win for you.
Cool. I agree with all of that. All right.
Hurry up.
Let's go into gem selection.
Select your character.
I'm the light in the darkness.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
Select your bring.
kick most of the time because you want the movement and you can get more meter than dive gem. But there are matchups where you just need dive gem against the taller characters, or when I say taller, I mean the higher jump characters. And I don't think I've ever considered meter gem. I can see how it might be relevant because meter is important to Kenny. It's just that in the matchups, sometimes like kick is just much better than meter gem. That in terms of you have room to build if you're like a faster character, and meter gem will only be useful in very small number of situations that I just consider it's not worth it because the amount of times I'll roll that situation is going to be a lot less than having kick instead. I think that's my thoughts on the gems. Do you have anything to add or any certain like matchups you know for sure you're going to pick certain gems?
Yeah, kick gem almost all the time. Simply for all the reasons Thanos said, but also more importantly is the ability having better ground mobility also means that you can ward off pressure better. And being able to ward off pressure better means that you can meter build better. Also, kick gem just naturally builds meter faster than dive gem. So it's a pseudo style gem in that sense. I've never picked style gem because once again, losing out on that kick speed is really big because it essentially kills your neutral. As a result.
Yeah, you don't have as good ground movement to kind of defend your space.
Yeah, like you're not able to make space without kick gem.
Gotcha.
A lot of characters will just be able to bully you without a care in the world. Simply because you're just that smidge slower without kick gem. What was I gonna say? Dive gem is useful in very specific matchups. Most notably is Baz, although currently I'm actually on the fence on that one. But theoretically, dive gem is better for Baz. A part of the issue is the fact that because Kenny switches between stances, gem choice is less based on matchup and more. Well, I guess it is based on the whole matchup chart rather than a singular matchup.
Fair enough.
And when you take the matchup chart as a whole, you'll basically find that kick gem is always the preferred pick.
For me, I do like dive against shoals.
Yeah, I was also gonna say that. It's just not something I do often because Kenny is fairly favored against trolls already just by virtue of being short.
Yeah, Kenny does have a natural lower target, so it makes shoals aim lower, which in turn makes her easier to hit if she's aiming too low. But yeah, I do like dive gem against the higher jumpers, such Shoals, Baz. But most of the part, yeah, I'm also on the kick fence. I like I like the extra speed, extra movement, decent meter build. So compared to dive gem.
Yeah, and also just being able to fight back when someone gets too close.
Yeah, your normals are just better with kick gem. All right. I think that's it. I think it'd be time to kind of jump into some matches. Do you want me to join your lobby or do you want me to make a lobby for you?
You make one.
All right, we're gonna start with the dive matchup as our usual. Do you want to play Kenny or do you want to play the opposite? This is one of the ones where I actually have a decent amount of experience as Kenny, but we can go either way. You just let me know.
You're hosting or am I hosting?
I'm creating a lobby now.
Alright. I'll probably pay Kenny for this.
All right. If there's anyone in chat that want to, if you guys do have requests, there are some characters that I want to kind of highlight, but if you guys make a request in chat, we'll try to play that matchup next. We do have one request held over from last time, and that's a Kenny mirror to end it, so that's something that will happen. So you might not have to request, you'll see that at the end.
For action.
Select your gems.
Alright, I'm going pick gem as dive here because, as we stated, trying to pressure Kenny's meter build is good, so having kick gem will help with that.
And once again, I'm going kick gem because most characters prefer kick gem against dive.
Alright, good luck, have fun.
This from
Yep, you too.
above. Round 1. Dive kick.
Imaginary numbers.
Thought you were going for a quick meter build. You came out a little bit higher though.
Dive kick.
Oh, come on!
Nothing lasts forever.
I was able to punish that one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about to have. Yeah, you already have air special, so I don't have to worry about it now.
Oh, come on!
Your two favorite characters, I see.
I know every move.
In the shot.
Yep.
Ah, damn.
I wasn't reading my meter, didn't realize I had Kickfactor.
Round 4. Dive kick. In the
Oh
shot.
man,
Too few variables.
I got stuck and I thought you were
Round 5.
stream again.
Dive kick.
I don't like that. Yeah. Urarok, save me.
Round 6.
That reminds me about Shoals. I do want to mention something after this.
Deja vu.
So that's an area where if you're really close to Kenny, you can kind of jump and kick him, and you won't be able to get his air bullet out.
Velocity. Not
Nice.
again.
I thought you were still falling.
Okay, so one of the things I did want to bring up before we move into the next one is Shoals, specifically Shoals' stance as Kenny. Most of the time, Shoals, the regular character, is at her weakest when she doesn't have meter for a cancel, and you spend a lot of time in that state when you're Kenny. So you want to be wary that if you are playing against or playing as Kenny as in Shoals' stance, know that if they don't have meter for air special, they're basically the weaker version of Shoals, and you want to pressure that meter build when they do their kicks, and also know that if they kick over you, they're not going to turn around. They're going to have to complete a second kick or just fall out of the sky. You want to be really careful. I think Shoals can be a strong stance for Kenny, but getting up to meter, like if she's at 0 meter, it's really tough. But if she has, like, she's close to the meter, then you can find a spot to build it and get your air special. It can be really good. But do be wary if you are Shoals as Kenny. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Alright.
This from
Let's hope for
above.
better RNG this time.
Round 1.
That was what, 3 stream in an S kill, and you
Yeah.
gotta be freaking kidding me. Oh, had ya.
Another example of if they do get too close, you can't kick them before the bullet comes out.
Dive kick.
Wow.
Velocity!
Oh,
That's my best combo! Not again!
that's waiting for the bullet to come out and just kicking the second kick after. Ooh, did not expect you to kick there. I was looking for a kickback and trying to punch the build.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Thank you, pause.
I was hoping to go under, but Kickfactor obviously messed me up there.
Complex conjugate!
Probably could have gone for the headshot. But
This gets
yeah, I'll take that.
Still got your meter for next round, which is good.
Take that!
Ooh. Caught the elbow there. If you were short Kenny, I definitely wouldn't have hit you.
Yeah. Well, you could have just waited longer then.
Oh, for the wide stance, I guess. Yeah, I'd have to adjust my timing.
Also, RNG. What the hell?
Lots of S kill and stream stances. Ooh. I tried to do a DK. I think a KK would have been better in that situation. Less pressure.
Christ.
Oh, why am I sleeping? I'm like waiting for you to kick back so I can try to chase it down. But...
I got one of the few stances I could be aggressive in. Why would I? Why would I be passive?
Yeah, true.
And once again, I have to figure out who I am.
Oh.
And I could have sworn I canceled that.
Oh.
Ooh. Almost. So right there when I was concussed, I was not sure who I was.
Oh.
That time I was. And that's end stand, which is horrifically overpowered.
Yeah, I consider Kenny an extreme character where kind of you're very strong and very weak at a lot of points in the game.
Yeah, like at your lowest point, you're gonna be like matchups will just straight up be unwinnable at your lowest. But at your best, like it feels just so satisfying.
For sure.
For like that one roll you get where you're just like, okay, this is my game.
Stream? Oh, too high.
Ooh, too fast. What?
Oh, that's bad.
Positive directional derivative for line search!
You should probably just build up Kickfactor next time.
They had a run for it.
Oh, Lord!
Yeah. Don't think I'm getting out of that. See if I can lose without not getting headshot. Oh my gosh. Alright, well at least I didn't get headshot. Oh.
I think that would have hit anyway, though.
A regular kick?
Yeah.
Maybe. You had feint either way, or at least
Yeah.
you had spirit bullet either way. But I don't know if I could get out of that though. That was a guaranteed kill.
That was an extremely good RNG. That was 3 end rolls in a row.
This from above.
Yeah, so you see Kenny give it,
And take
Kenny
it.
take it.
Not again!
All right, I was a little bit more patient there. I think I've been coming too close to you in the stream. Ooh, so close.
Yeah, Jeff Dance is always zero head Jeff.
Oh, I was trying to land right after it, but it looks like I lost it too early there.
You were in a bad spot because if you kicked, you would have had the Kickfactor pause, and I could have immediately react.
Round 5.
Deja vu!
Sente Stance is great on the attack, but very weak on the retreat.
6.
Trying to catch the rush down.
7.
Oh gosh.
Ah, good catch.
Thanks.
Wins.
I was thinking about going in, but no, nah, he's not gonna punish this neutral jump.
Yeah, because you saw me do the kickback and then I
Yeah, then you
velocity down to
canceled.
adjust. Yeah.
And then I heard the velocity, I'm like, oh shit.
All
He
right.
knows.
Let me think of the next matchup. Let's do S kill next because I want to show the shortness here.
I will say, Kenny is a character where 3-0ing someone is not going to be common.
I'm the light in the darkness.
You will have games where you just straight up do not win.
Steal from the,
The
best
lottery.
and give to the worst.
Select your choice.
So this first one, let's just I just want to show the problem with the height.
Yeah, with trick.
But just stand still. I'm gonna try to do trick and do an immediate kick out of it. I'll just like try to mash it.
All right, I'll just hand off keyboard then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the problem with S kill here is that Kenny is so short that
1.
if you do a trick, you'll go right above him, and then your kick will be too far above him. So it won't be a headshot. Sometimes it'll catch a shoulder, but there are times where you just sail over him as well.
If you use trick in the middle of the kick, you'll sail over me. Yeah.
There you go.
And this is like the perfect chance for me to like just.
Yeah, exactly. So as S kill, if he's standing, you have to adjust your kick timing on the trick, and also if you're doing it from a kick, you just can't. So you want to try to do your tricks off of a jump instead of a kick. Can you kill me? It'd probably be faster if you kill me than I kill you. And then we can go into the match.
Round 4.
As S kill, it's gonna be really hard to limit Kenny's meter build, but what's cool about S kill is your meter is just as good, having trick available, and if Kenny is up building his special, and he gives you time to get your special, and S kill is pretty good with his specials.
6.
And I should know that on average, S kill will build faster than Kenny.
Yeah.
So as a result, Kenny's dynamic is kind of turned around in this matchup.
Yep.
Where Kenny is the one who has to pressure S kill, because Kenny's normals are generally better than S kills.
Yeah. You know, normally it's the other way around, and this is one of the matchups where it's really like it puts it on its head. So it's definitely a good matchup to call out. All right, good luck, have fun.
From above.
You too.
Round 1.
People popcorn.
Just caught the edge there.
Round 2.
Oh man, you're not expecting
That
a
was a
yellow
complete
there.
misinput. I'll take it.
Round 3.
Alright, not headshot. We're good. You have air special now.
Round 4. Unintended glitch. Round 5.
Wait.
Ooh, nice low kick. Avoiding the parry.
Round 6.
And does have trouble with
Round
with that
Parry.
parry, yeah.
I probably should have just gone hard in.
Ooh, I should have waited on the teleport there. If they get you at the peak of your jump, it would have been best.
Yeah.
This from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
That's close enough.
Round 2. Dive kick.
Ooh,
Double KO.
thought I would get that, but apparently a little too early.
3. Dive kick. Headshot.
This gets old.
Alright,
Round
this is good for me. Headshot.
Dive
A
kick.
little bit taller. I don't have to adjust it.
Oh man.
Round 5. Dive kick.
Ugh, too fast.
Damn.
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Oh,
Unintended
Detection.
glitch.
that was a ground parry. I think I did a little too high.
Round 7. Dive kick.
Just a bit. Ugh.
Skill.
I got lucky there. You had a really good stance.
Yeah, that was kick.
Yeah.
I need to remember that you're more aggressive than I am with that skill.
This from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
Ooh, nice.
Madness. Round 2. Dive kick.
Oh god, this is not the stance I want in this matchup.
Oh. Yeah, Esco's
Doesn't matter.
normals are pretty good
That
against.
skill, 3 that skill,
3. Dive kick.
8-2 matchup.
Ouch, ouch.
Round 4. Dive kick.
Know every move.
Headshot.
Ah,
Ooh.
I forget we have the same angle.
Perfecto. Round 5. Dive kick.
Ooh.
I
Nice
knew
low
you'd
kick.
parry.
Yeah, nice low kick.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kick can just punish any move you do.
Yeah.
Round 7. Dive kick. Perfecto.
I need to stop being still after
Round
that.
8. Dive kick.
Oh, come on!
Perfecto.
Yeah, I don't have Stream's big body.
Dive kick.
That means that matchup's even worse for me.
Headshot.
Ooh.
Too slow.
Skill wins.
Maybe just build to the missiles?
Ugh.
I don't know. It's still tough because then
No,
you're,
then you
you're
just
gonna
get tricked.
Yeah, you just get tricked. No. Yeah, come forward. That's the best way. I agree.
Yes, from above.
Like just accepting the loss is probably the only I can do in that situation.
Dive kick.
Oh, damn it.
Tier.
Nice YOLO.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Dive kick.
God damn.
Round.
And I think that's another
three.
example of like
Dive
Kenny's
kick.
wide stance.
Oh.
Round 4. Dive kick.
Oh, no. Just try to time that for your approach a
Round
little early.
5. Dive kick.
Man,
And that's still kick being bad.
getting all of it today. This round. Oh, jeez, that was a mistake.
Escape.
Ooh.
There we go.
Very
That's
good
the
play.
toe I was looking for.
Very good neutral play there. Avoiding all the parries and hitting the toe. It's all been great sets so
Yes,
far.
from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
I should probably be less aggressive with that stance.
Round 2. Dive kick.
People People
nice catch.
popcorn! Round 3, dive kick!
Ooh, nice turnaround.
Card crush!
I should have been spamming panic parry.
Round 4, dive kick!
Oh, I thought you would parry!
I think I already jumped when you hit the kick factor. Oh, nice.
And now I have to decide. What?
Oh my gosh. There's lots of confusion there.
Round 6,
Nice.
And that's just end stance being end stance.
Round 7,
Oh yeah, I can't.
Kenny wins.
Redacted can recover and hit that that whiffed parry a lot sooner. Well played, well
Yep.
played. No, it looks like no requests, so I'm thinking
Answer?
yeah, we can do Fencer. That's another short short burst. We did it yesterday, but not yesterday, but last week, but we can do it again.
I'm the light
It's
in the
worth
darkness.
doing again for
Select your breed.
completeness sake.
Select your duds.
So this matchup, Kenny does not care about the sword, like at all. By complete accident, Kenny's model has the perfect indicator for whether or not he's going to be hit by sword. And the secret is those two fingers of his.
Round
So if
Do
you
you
can
want me to grab it?
sword- So as long as Kenny's fingers are on the sword, it will hit him. But that means that wow, my microspacing with Markman is absolutely horrible. I just throw it.
Alright,
Just
I'm
throw
just-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see, that goes over Kenny's head.
And that's at any distance where he's not touching the sword.
Yeah, any distance from that, so just roll past me. Okay, stream. Okay, I can micro stance. Oh, I had it, and then I blinked it.
That's fine. You want to get really close to that edge? Okay, don't move now. Ready?
Yeah.
People popcorn.
Yeah.
Round
So if Kenny's fingers are on the sword, he'll be hit by it. Also, roll past me. So this'll hit me. Because my fingers are on the sword, at the very edge of the sword, but on the sword nonetheless.
Round 4.
I think I'm Kung, so you might want to back up a bit. Oh, sorry.
No, no worries.
Round 5.
No.
Do you want me to try to get close?
Yeah, you try to space it.
Round
Your movement's a lot more decent than mine.
We'll go a little bit further. All right, here. So this will definitely miss. Oh, I almost got the sword. Yeah, that's what you're trying to show, right? Like right as you're not touching the sword, it'll miss.
Yeah, if you're not touching the sword, it'll miss. Roll past me. Alright, so throw it. It'll miss.
Yeah, that's how close.
See, that's how precise it is. Like, if neither of Kenny's fingers are on the sword, just completely whiffs.
Round 8.
But let's try to show it the other way, where if I get too close, it's on your side.
Oh, is it? My bad.
Wrong side of the screen. Alright, so let's try to get a situation where.
Just jump up. I'll jump underneath you.
Alright.
Okay. I might be too close.
This is obviously gonna miss, but we may as well just wait for judgment. Or no.
I just wanted to yeah, move back. Let me grab the sword.
Nine dive kick.
Oh, actually, you can do that. You can get really close to him.
Alright, so jump. So I can get under you.
Okay.
This'll miss.
Yep. Usually, you probably don't want to stand there as Kenny, though. Just go ahead and kick him, because you'll probably
Yeah,
beat
if
the
you're
startup.
that close, you could more often than not just kick them. But as a result, because Fencer has like such clunky movement, as Kenny, you can basically react to everything Fencer does. The question is, do you have the reactions for it?
Yeah, I think of Kenny as, it really depends on who he rolls, but he has a high advantage because he can auto defend sword. So it's not as scary. Obviously, you still don't want to give it to Fencer because he can hit you while you're moving, but Kenny has the advantage of not having to do anything to avoid sword, but stay a certain distance away. That's it.
This from above.
Alright, good luck, have fun.
Yep, you too.
Round one. Dive kick.
Oh, thought I had a hit there.
Yeah, me too. I
Round
think that just...
two. Dive kick.
Oh, nice fake.
Round three. Dive kick.
Kick technique. Deja vu.
Still hit him in the air though.
Yep.
Round four. Dive kick.
Oh my gosh.
Kenny's hitbox is pretty normal whenever he's not...
Round five.
Whenever he's moving.
People popcorn.
And at that point, I was just throwing away the stance.
Round six. Dive kick.
God damn.
Round seven. Dive kick.
Wow.
Headshot.
Oh man.
Round eight. Dive kick.
Take that.
Oh, come on!
Ooh.
I actually didn't think I was landed there.
Your projectile came out still though.
Dive kick.
Now, what do I do here?
Hurry up.
Oh, come on! Nice.
Kenny wins.
Yeah, not
Kenny's
sure.
height.
Not sure what I could do there.
Yeah.
Can't hit you with a sword.
As
You gotta-
soon as you gave me a line, that was it. Like, you can't move in,
Yeah.
because then I'll immediately boom kick you. You can't throw it, because you'll miss.
From above.
Figure just throwing, getting my roll back was best. The best option.
Headshot.
Ouch.
Now, because of Kenny's
two.
inconsistent hitboxes, it is actually really hard for him to catch roll. And that's just simply because sometimes you get S kill.
Three. Dive kick.
Or red.
Oh man.
I will say, this is one of the few matchups where, like, just
Round
opening DK
four. Dive kick.
is a viable move.
Try to run for me.
All right.
Round five. Dive kick.
Oh
Headshot.
man. I thought I was gonna do a fast KK. I forgot I was fast.
Round six.
It's as fast as I can do KK there. Oh.
Kenny wins.
Yeah, I'm usually good against Shoals, but not concussed. Shoals is pretty good against every character who's concussed.
This from above.
Alright, let's see. Let's figure out what I can do here.
Round one. Dive kick.
Your YOLOs have definitely
have been on point.
Round
Yeah, yeah.
2 dive kick.
Kick, also a good roll.
Round 3 dive kick. Round 4 dive kick.
Thought I'd get you on the.
I know every move.
Ooh, man. I guess the Kickfactor speed helped.
Fraud
Yep.
detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Round 5 dive kick.
Detection averted.
Went a little ham there with your Kickfactor
Round
speed.
6 dive kick.
I thought you'd try rolling past me.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
Hurry up.
I just wanted to grab my sword.
Round 7 dive kick.
Use the camera, the KF camera control to get it.
Hurry up.
Ooh, I thought it would land in time.
Round 8 dive kick.
Oh my gosh.
And that just hit box.
Wins.
Nice.
Yeah, DK against Fencer is worth doing because Fencer's hitbox is atrociously bad.
Yeah, it's just bad.
So as a result, a lot of the trades that result of a yellow kick end in your favor.
Alright, I think next matchup might be maybe Kung, because Kung's like one of the worst
Ooh, yeah,
matchups,
that's a
right?
rough one for Kenny.
So the reason why
Take
Kung
the
is good against Kenny is
I'm
because
the light in
her
the
ability to
darkness.
pressure meter build is
Select
high.
your gems.
It's hard to
your
move Kung,
guts.
but if she can get in the right spots, she basically puts Kenny, like, prevents him from building any meter safely. And so she can basically do this without any specials, so she doesn't have to wait for anything. And so that puts Kenny in a place where it's going to be really hard to build up
From above.
to his air special easily.
Round 1 dive kick.
Got too close. Kung is still... Oh,
Oh.
you get a crash?
Yep, I have the circles.
Alright, we got a little technical difficulties here.
Let me reboot the game.
Yeah, it said you exited, so I'm still in game, but I'll remake my lobby just in case. To continue just talking about Kung versus Kenny, Kenny's saving grace in that matchup is his height, because sometimes he can auto duck some of Kung's kicks, but he has a hard time trying to build up air special, and Kung versus the ground game of most characters can be decent just because of her speed and which she can punish things and how far away she can do it. So Kenny's gonna have to find space to build air special, and even then, once he has air special, it's still hard to kind of trap Kung because her ability to get under the bullet's pretty good as well.
Yeah, earlier when I was mentioning just going straight for Kenny if he bullets you, Kung is a prime example.
Yeah.
Mostly because Kung just wins neutral.
Let's see. It is almost 7:30. Are you okay for going a little bit longer?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. All right.
Is there any other matchups you wanted to? Oh yeah, we have to do the Kenny mirror still.
Yeah. Let's do Kung, and then maybe one more, and then we can do Kenny mirror.
Select your character.
Light from above.
Select your jewels. Select your duds.
And again, kick gem against Kenny, just to battle the prove the ground movement to battle the meter.
Death from above.
All right, good luck, have fun.
Round 1 dive kick.
There's the Slight auto duck.
Nothing left forever.
Yeah, I was kick, not dive. I don't know why I did that.
Oh yeah, the pause.
Well, even that, just the extra speed boost.
Yeah.
Not again.
Too big.
Headshot's good for me.
Yep. And now we are the same height. Who am I? Dive.
Who am I? Like S-kill.
And yeah.
S-kill without parry. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
So as
It
Kung,
says something about the S-kill stance that in base game, this matchup, S-kill Kung used to be S-kill favored until they nerfed the parry.
yeah, parry was pretty good. In this particular one with Kung, I'm just trying to get close to a position where I can like do a DK to punch things and then just kind of wait and see what he does and use my DK to punish it, or try to get a little bit closer. That's kind of like what I'm trying to do in this matchup.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to do is I'm either trying to keep her away, or in some cases get really, really close.
I've got a stuck glitched bullet on my screen. Does happen.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, no, that's fine. You sent out another bullet which stopped it.
Ooh, an inch too high. Or an inch too low.
Deja vu.
Ooh, I thought you were
Like
gonna pause there.
Down to earth.
Oh,
You gotta just let her rip.
all right. That was really fast. I was trying to hit your approach kick there, but unsuccessful. Oh wow, another
That's another example of just me being too close.
Yep.
Typically. Oh, come on!
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, earlier that was a prime example of me wanting to get too close, because Kung has a bit of a dead zone that Kenny wants to exploit.
Yep, and I just sailed right over you.
Yes, from above. Round one, kick.
Ooh, I thought that was a headshot.
I'm glad it wasn't.
Round two, kick.
Oh. Gotta remember, it doesn't come out at 45. Gotta stand still.
Round
Yep.
three, kick.
I'll take it. Nice feint.
Round four, kick.
Ooh,
Oh,
one of
dang.
your legs there.
Was not keeping an eye on that meter. I shouldn't know you already had it.
Kick.
Wait.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, good delay.
This gets
Very lucky.
Round six, kick.
You know.
Too low on my attack.
Round seven, kick.
A rush down, nice.
Wins.
Sometimes I just gotta recognize that you're not gonna see me rolling in, especially if I haven't fully verified if it's kick or dive. Although I'm not sure if you knew immediately if it was kick there.
Oh yeah, I knew it was kick just by the speed. The question was like, I was looking for a spot where I can do a quick DK, but came in and I got caught stupid. Good patience. I was waiting for the meter build quick there.
I think if I stood still there, you would have missed.
Ah.
Now, a very niche strategy in this is placing a bullet in front of the portal. I don't. Ooh, I was too fast. I don't advise doing this. Like, yeah, it's cute, but
Yeah, I don't know
doesn't
if it
really
does
accomplish
much.
anything. I will say, ground bullet is very good against Kong when she has Kickfactor, because you can just toss it out and then you have to wait then she has to wait 5 seconds.
Oh no! You got a bit greedy with my spacing there.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. Oh no!
Wins.
I probably should have just went into a portal to change the timing on it. But nice play.
Yeah.
Nice play.
I should also disclose I got very good rolls that game overall.
Yeah.
I didn't get a single shoal stance. S-kill and stream were like non-existent.
Yeah, the
I
shoal
didn't
stance
get mirror
in this
stance
is pretty
either,
bad.
which is pretty bad for Kenny in this matchup. Yeah, I got very good rolls that game.
I think the one before the mirror, maybe Baz. I kind of want to show like how the Baz can kind of avoid the bullet.
Select your character.
And I should, avoiding the bullet is universal among all the high jumpers.
Select
Yeah,
your
yeah.
breed.
Now, I'm actually still doing research on which gem is better.
Mhm.
Conventional wisdom says dive gem is better, but in my experience, kick gem works better if you want to pressure. Because this is one of those matchups where Kenny can be the one pressuring against him, but Baz doesn't care too much
Select
about
your
pressure.
duds.
I'll do the first game as dive gem and then switch over to kick gem,
Okay, sounds good.
just so we have the double showcase unless I get headshot chained, which is very possible in this matchup.
This from above. Round 1. Dive.
Baz has free turnarounds, pretty damn good.
Round 2.
And he also jumps pretty high.
Ooh, I just let that go. I would have been fine.
Round 3. Dive.
Ooh.
Round
Kickfactor is good.
4. Dive. Intercept.
I think you already used your cancel, right? Right before you.
Yeah,
kicked.
I actually didn't have to because I actually jumped on the cross up. Not the... I'll take that.
Round 6.
Ooh, I didn't read your meter.
Wins.
Yeah, I was trying to build up to it because I knew you were shoals. I'm like, uh oh, I better get ground special ready.
So I didn't actually get many good stances to show off the difference. Yeah, I'll do one.
One more.
Yeah, one more is dive.
This from above.
So as the Baz, even if he throws the bullet up, I have a chance to just jump straight up and get hit by it, and I can use my delay to kind of time the difference because I can control my delay with a long rope.
Yeah, and this is the weakness of dive gem in this matchup, is that I'm very much trying to play.
Oh,
If I have to play catch up, I will not be able to reach Baz.
Round 2. Dive kick!
Naganai!
Oh, I thought you were gonna ground special.
I don't think I needed the meter.
Round 3! Dive kick!
Oh, nice rush down.
Yeah. And that's just an example of me basically YOLOing it and neither of us reacting. Or rather, me reacting and Thanos not reacting.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh no.
Oh no.
Is it me this time?
It's both of us this time.
The kick was too hard there. Let's go to the casual screen while we sort this out.
You still spinning?
Yeah, I'm still spinning, are you?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll give it like a few more seconds. If not, then I'll just exit out. One of the things you can do as Baz is if you jump straight into the air and you use your delay so that you kind of get frozen in the air, there's a lot of stances where Kenny just can't get up there to punish you for doing it. You just have to have either the second kick or air special to get you out of that situation, because he can punish where you land if you don't have that option to get out from where you are. And usually a second kick or air special can get you out of that situation once you're done being frozen. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close my game off and start it up again.
Yeah, me too. It's funny because like playing against you is like one of the smoother, better connections, and
Today's just unlucky.
yeah.
The day of RNG. I think it's a day of RNG.
Yep. Too many random numbers for the game to handle. We're hitting the end of the string.
We're gonna hit the most randomness, which is one of my favorite mirrors of the game, just because it has so much variety, and that's Kenny versus Kenny mirror.
Even really a mirror.
It's the most mirrorless mirror, I guess you could say.
Alright, this time I'll host.
Okay.
Although I'm getting spinnies. Nope, okay, I'm good. Alright, I'll host. So.
I'll be right there. For those watching, hopefully you're enjoying this little screen. There's a how to play in the menu, and if you go into there, you'll see these screens. So if you're curious about each of the characters, there's a little blurb about each of them, and you can find that in game. See your lobby. Fail to join. Right again. Spin in a little bit. Looks like we're
like you're in. Are you in?
Yeah. Alright. Waiting for it to come on screen. Gotta swap the names. And I think I'm Baz, right? Yep, Baz. Up 1-0.
Yeah, it's 1-0, your favor.
Still want to go dive jump, or?
Actually, it's already played like half that game. I'll switch to Kickfactor. Never really got to show it off there, but effectively what Dive Gem does is that it allows Dive to directly challenge Baz, essentially. And Trolls, for that matter.
In the air, yeah.
Which is better than most characters' utter indifference to having Dive Gem against Baz. And this is an example of
There's an
Baz
example of, yeah.
too high to hit.
Nice rush down. I should have
Thankfully,
just got out of
Baz
there.
does have a dead zone beneath him because Baz Kosen has a required minimum angle. Oh, I thought I got out.
I think taking care of your kick factor was worth it. Oh man, nice YOLO. You gotta be
Because
careful on
Baz
my
has
builds.
no immediate forward movement, DK is safe in this matchup. Yeah.
Gotta watch out for those turnarounds.
Yep. What a stream today. Like, I find it funny. Maybe this is my penance for not getting it against Kung.
Oh, that's a very rare kill.
I should note that if stream is at top height, Baz can't usually drop onto him.
Yeah, that's normally like that was a very lucky kill because most of the time like you'll hit my butt before my foot hits you.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
And once again, ground bullet. Very good for line play.
Yeah, I should probably just go in for the safe
You
high
should probably
attack.
just go for the judgment
Yeah,
and
the
then
safe
just
tie.
hope I get a roll that can't immediately pressure your movement. Don't know why I challenged that.
Oh gosh, very bad
Almost.
timing. Oh, I held it too long.
I'm like, he's gonna lightning, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna have to gamble it.
Yeah, we were both delaying and you guessed right on your delay. I guessed wrong on my delay. My gosh. Nice, nice.
Yeah, for this matchup, Kenny basically needs to get the headshot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd say it's a pretty good but then you also have to get the roll to like
yeah, the
follow
follow up
up.
on it,
Yeah.
which is why this is a pretty poor matchup for Kenny outside of the line play, due to the fact that
I mean,
ground special is actually good in this matchup.
we say that, but Kenny can get some really good rolls. Like he
Yeah,
can roll like shoals 3 times or N and like yeah.
but the issue comes in is that you can have your momentum stuffed,
Yeah.
which really does suck
Oh.
for a character. Ooh,
Ooh.
kiss your bicep there. Ooh, good one.
Yeah, just having the option to lightning out is always good after frozen. Oh. Don't know why I'm
Thankfully, Sensei stance higher than Baz, regardless of gem.
yes. Don't know why I was waiting for a delay. You obviously had didn't have meter for it yet. Nice chase down.
Yep, pressuring you before you have that air special,
Oh.
and that's just a trap.
Yeah, I couldn't do nothing there. If I jumped, I'd jump into it. I should have stayed higher or lightning the way. Best.
Yeah,
Right up.
you could have tried to do a low lightning,
I guess so.
like a plink lightning, if that's even a thing. Ah, too fast. Yeah, too slow.
Yeah, trying to jump up and not get hit by that startup of the kick is one of the spacings you want to know. Oh, that was definitely the Kickfactor flash got me.
Yep, you hitting buttons.
Nice.
Oh,
All
come on.
right.
And then once again, like, my momentum is, like, just completely stopped by this character.
Oh, I got Kickfactor. I did not expect that. I was looking at the time. All right, no Kickfactor. Hopefully I can mount it and come back here. Oh, nice. Definitely not the stance I want to see when I'm trying to
Yeah,
mount the kickback.
I got very good rolls on that run back.
No, you played it really well too.
Yeah. Alright.
All right, let's move into the Axum request. Axum Jinx previously requested the Kenny Mirror.
So the Kenny Mirror is actually really funky. It is 1 part meter management, 1 part RNG. Or rather, 2 parts RNG. So congrats!
Yeah,
You
good
are in
luck.
the only mirror match that is an 11 by 11 chart. In all of fighting games. Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, a bit greedy there with that kick.
Mm.
Oh, I'm all like, I'm probably not good here. I have to back up, and I got too close. Okay.
Raiden headshots here. Once again, a perfect example of how freaking horrible S-kill stance is. Ooh, if I just landed a bit sooner.
Kick? Yeah, that's not bad. That was kick versus redacted.
Yep. Oh no. Yep.
You saw it coming.
I was in that section of the screen. I was in the air.
Yeah. You should have stayed grounded when you knew
I,
that
I
I was
should have
like
just
so
dropped.
close.
I should have like tried to take line and then just drop a ground bullet.
Oh yeah, try to stave off the kick factor, I guess. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. All right. Let's see what we have next. Oh, I had the game muted. I should unmute that. My bad. Hopefully you guys can hear the sound
Being
again.
muted for.
Oh, when we had the technical difficulties, I was trying to fix it. So it might have been super quiet. Sorry about that.
Nothing lasts forever.
Ooh, yeah.
Round 2 Divekick.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Know every move.
Oh.
A little bit of an overlap there.
3 Divekick.
Ooh. I got a little too close.
Round 4 Divekick.
God damn.
There's a stayed still.
Round 5 Divekick.
Oh.
Not again.
I like just got my bullet too.
Round 6 Divekick.
Sensei versus sensei. I had no meter though.
Yep.
Round
Well, you were concussed at the start.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's double KK.
Round
into
8 Divekick.
God smiling on one of us.
Wait.
Ooh, thought I was below you. And now this is a heavily unfavored situation for me.
Yeah.
Divekick.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh no!
Oh!
Deja vu.
Kenny.
Nice. I thought I was
I
gonna
was
be
not
able to get under.
expecting to get that chase.
Yeah, I was trying to kick underneath. I should have just went backwards.
I did not deserve that last one. But
Yes, from above.
That's me not knowing the spacing. That's gonna happen when you have to remember so much. Oh no.
Oh no.
I think that's internet probably. You still there? Can you hear me?
I'm still here. It's still spinning for me.
I can still hear the rain. All right, closing it down.
Yep. Alright. I guess we'll just alternate hosting until the connection decides to behave itself.
Yeah, sorry about the audio earlier. So what I wanted to do was close it. That way when I'm like navigating through, they wouldn't hear it, but then I forgot to turn it back on. But I'm just going to leave it on now so you guys are going to hear like the dive kick opening. I'll host them. Still 1-1. That was right at the beginning of the round, so don't have to worry about.
So nothing lost.
Yeah,
I
nothing
think it was
lost.
Sensei stance though.
I guess that is a loss. You saw your cards and we didn't play the hand.
Yeah. I saw my card and we're like, all right, I got a pair here.
All right, my lobby should be up now. Swap the names.
Uh-oh,
It's
that's
actually
not a
spinning.
good sign. My thing is just saying searching for rooms.
Is it so? A while back there was an issue where you couldn't go online. Yeah, I'm failing to host games. This might be an issue just trying to go online. Oh, looks fine there. Yeah, I'm not able to create a lobby here. Oh, I did create a
I
lobby.
can make a lobby.
I just created one.
Me
See if you can search
too.
it.
You host.
Yeah, most of
Okay, so the game just randomly decided it's
Okay.
just not functioning tonight.
We're in.
Select
Alright, let's
your
hope it
character.
hangs out for at least 10 more minutes, or at least
Nice to meet
5 more
you.
minutes, or probably less than that. Ask him.
Buddha Rocks
Whoops.
the Almighty showed me this technique.
Select your break.
There's one thing, a
Select
good thing about
your guns.
playing Kenny set. You eventually learn most of the cast's movement.
I would not recommend learning it through Kenny, though. That's kind of like how I learned the game, and it took too long to learn the game. Play each character a little bit, like consecutively, so you can learn a little bit faster.
Yes,
Yeah, you lose some of the nuances when you're constantly switching your mindset.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, I tried to cancel.
Round two.
Still have meter, though. I use my meter to kill you.
Oh, I thought I did the turnaround.
Round three. Dive kick.
Oh.
Oh man!
You should
I
have
should've
stayed
just stayed
behind
still.
that bullet.
Round four. Dive kick.
Nothing lasts forever.
Round five. Dive kick.
Oh, too
Rock,
close.
save me.
Round six. Dive kick.
Down to earth.
Oh! Oh no!
I mistimed that.
Yeah, you could have jumped
I
to it a
thought
little
you were
bit.
gonna-
Seven. Dive
I thought it was gonna release earlier than it actually did.
Headshot.
Oh, okay, I'm chasing ghosts here. Should not be chasing that.
Round eight. Dive kick.
God.
Double
Oh
kick.
no.
Deja vu.
Round nine. Dive kick.
Yeah,
Kenny
Yep.
wins.
As soon as the cards
perfect
are shown,
setup. Yeah, perfect setup. Nice. So far, I'm making bad decisions against your stream cancel. I should just back up and stay low.
just stay down.
Round
It'll probably
one.
win.
Yeah.
Dive kick.
Thank you, You want Jeff?
Yeah,
I want the Jeff.
you want the chip.
What gives?
2 Divekick.
Oh man.
Got that glitch bullet, but it's alright.
ラウンド
Does happen.
3 Divekick.
Oh, you. Oh.
ヘッドショット
Oh no.
ラウンド4ダイキックダブルキル
Lining up those headshots, well played.
I am not intentionally
ラウ
lining
ン
up
ド
headshots.
5ダイキック
Alright. Oh, I'm lucky.
catch.
Lucky.
ラウンド6ダイキック
That was not my intention.
ヘッドショット
Nice.
I just had to wait for
And
it.
that's another example of like going ahead of your
ラ
bullet.
ウンド7
Like,
ダイキッ
if you notice, like my bullet was like, wow, this is like a. I can't stall out your meter build.
クダブルキル
I can't stall out your kick factor when you're a skill.
No, I got 40 seconds.
8ダイキック
Oh,
Kenny wins
yeah, just holding on. I'm like, let's just wait till next round. If I find a position, I'll do a cancel, but luckily I was able to get a couple kills there.
this from above
Alright. Match point.
ラウンド
Hype set,
Last
good luck.
game.
ダイキック
Ooh. I was hoping to catch the end of that fade.
ラウンド2ダイキック
Oh,
ヘッドショッ
Just barely whiffed you.
barely whiffed.
トラウンド3ダイキック
Oh no!
ダブルキル
Nothing lasts forever.
Serious chase down there.
4ダイキック
Oh,
マルチキ
Ah,
ル
that was a very good roll.
Couldn't get the kick fast enough.
ラウンド5ダイキック
Yep.
God damn.
Good rolls here.
Yeah, very good rolls.
ラウンド6ダイキック
Okay, that's fine.
Ah, yeah. I saw that coming.
Kenny
Yeah, it was a pretty good matchup. We both had decent characters. We both put out our bullets.
Yeah, although you got the freaking Kickfactor chains, man.
Yeah, that was the rolls there were pretty damn good,
That,
especially
that
with
was
kick
the
factor.
deal breaker there. Them chains.
All right. Thanks you all for watching. Unfortunately, we did have a bunch of technical difficulties there. Hopefully, it's a lot smoother. Just a note, we do have we just wrapped up the league play for September. I do have my casual plays, but I'm deciding if I'm going to add commentary or not. Looks like people do want commentary. I'm going to see if I'm going to pull someone else to do it or if I'm going to do it myself, but we'll see how that goes. But we do have another double elimination tournament coming up this Saturday. I'm going to type out exclamation point bracket in the chat. That's a link to register, but it's at 12 p.m. PDT. Come join us if you can. Also hit up the Discord for more information, and usually all the correspondence is done there as well, so please join us in the Discord. Laitome, anything to say before we take off here?
Although, I should note, I will be attending that tournament that
Oh,
was
awesome.
mentioned earlier. So,
Did you register yet?
no.
No, okay. Early registration is encouraged. Laitome? Laitome?
Alright, I'm on it.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do next week. I'll probably stream the same time, but I'm gonna have to come up with what we might do. So maybe we'll do some like reviews of games. Maybe we'll just do some casuals. But we've worked our way all the way through all the characters, and I think finally I'm gonna go ahead and try to port this over to YouTube and put some chapters on them. Now that I have all of them, I'll probably release them here and there just whenever I get time. Um, but yeah, please join us in the Discord. You should be able to see when those videos come out, and also I'll probably set up the league for October as well soon. So look out for that. Laitome, thank you for graciously beating me with all different types of characters as Kenny today.
No
It's
problem.
been fun, and thank you for joining in the previous discussions where you and Axum helped out a lot with when we had to do random matches and figure out some matchups. You two were always there, and I just want to say I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I love playing this game. So.
All right, as for the rest of you, have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Take care.